Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So just to say it once more, I'm sure we'll have more people coming in. But if you could please turn your cameras on, I would appreciate it. It is no fun as an instructor to train to a bunch of names on the screen. So if you can turn your cameras on, that is awesome. And if you could please in the chat, just let me know which office you're with. Thank you. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So first of all, by a show of hands, or you can throw it in the chat, whatever you want to do, raise your digital hand if you want. How many of you are actually using your Keller Williams website? Cool. Derry's a yes. Okay, I got a no from Tracy. We're going to try to fix that. Tracy, thanks for jumping on so quick. I appreciate it. Lori, yes. Martha, no. We're going to try to get these things fixed. So, if you've been with Keller Williams for a while, there has always been rumblings about websites and whether they're good or bad or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I will tell you, as somebody who has been a technology trainer with Keller Williams and an agent with Keller Williams for 15 years this year, the website now is awesome. We've had lots of different websites in the past. The website that we have now is amazing and is getting better all the time. A lot of the fancy stuff you have to do with it, like to customize it, does involve the expert editor, the expert mode, which if you don't have any experience with that, it can be pretty confusing. Even for myself, who's a self-proclaimed nerd, that was a little bit over my head, and I had to really dig in to try to learn it. However, a lot of the basic customization is finding its way into the basic editor that's in Command. So there's lots of good things coming that make more sense for an agent to be able to just make quick adjustments and customization, right? Okay, let's get started. I'm just going to jump right in. We're going to look at some stuff here. Tracy, I know you had something very specific. So I'm going to jump into that right now. And if you see what it is that you need and you need to bail after that, that's fine. Or you're more than welcome to hang out for the whole class. And if it prompts any questions, by all means, we kind of have the group's decent size, but if you can't find your digital hand or whatever, you are more than welcome to just come off mute and ask me a question. And then once again, I'm going to say, if you can turn on your camera, please turn on your camera. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Dolores. I appreciate that. And Steven. All right, so let's look at the share. Everybody see my screen here? Thumbs up. And we're looking at the command screen, right? You see command? Yeah, awesome. I don't know why it looks funny on my side, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we need to know what marketing information finds its way over to our website and our app, right? And it can be confusing because there's 3 different places to build a profile in Command. They are streamlining that, which is nice. They are working on putting them together in less places, hopefully one place. So if we go over here to our name in the top right corner, and we come down to settings, and then over on the left-hand side, you're going to see connect settings. Everybody see that? So under connect settings and then marketing profile. This is the profile where, let's see, you'll now find your marketing profile settings in the website's applet. Well, look at that. They just keep improving and they don't even tell us about it. So let's go look at this. This is brand new. This was just released today. I love surprises. All right. So if you are, is everybody here pretty much a solo agent? Yes. Yeah. Okay. I do have a team as well, so I figured that it would be mostly solo agents, so I'm in my solo account, so you guys would probably see what I'm seeing. Is anybody following along, and do you have the same functionality that I have? Does it look the same? No? Okay, thanks, Dolores. When I went to marketing profile and connect settings, is yours still there?
Can you show me how you did that again? Because I
Yeah.
just went to the applet. I hadn't had it open because I wasn't sure how much I could try to follow along
Yeah,
and
no
do it
problem.
and see your screen at the same time. So,
Okay, so I'm going to go to my name in the top right corner,
right.
and I'm going to go down to settings.
Okay.
And then when that opens, this is where it was yesterday. If I click on connect settings, you have
Uh-huh.
marketing profile. And when you click on that, what do you get?
I have what looks like a person, but since it's, let me make the screen bigger. Okay. Yes, goes to marketing profile. Use this information to brand my agent site. That's where mine is at. Because I
Okay.
know I'm here because when they switched the sites to the new site, probably a
Mhm.
year ago, I don't know, it could have been more.
Yeah,
Um,
just a
I
little bit more.
never went back in and set up my site with the new stuff.
Okay. All right. I'm going to, so I guess I should back up a little bit, introduce myself. Sorry, had like all this stuff come up right before class. um, my name is Brett Bishop. I am a virtual market center tech trainer. I'm also a practicing agent. In my 23rd year in the business, I'm a third generation realtor here in Southwest Florida. And I am coming to all of you through Pro2Call, and your offices have partnered with my company. I have a business partner named Dora Cherico, who is also a market center tech trainer. And that is why we are here, because we have partnered with your offices so that we can provide virtual market center tech trainer assistance to you. And one of the things that I do is I'm what's known as a labs advisor. So I beta test a lot of what happens in command before it reaches the agents. And I say that now, especially because I think that's what might be going on here. So I'm going to log out of my account and I'm going to log into my wife's account, who I know is not a beta tester. And hopefully we get the same look. I apologize for that, but I had no idea that they were making changes. And then, of course, I'm going to have this problem with the authentication. So let's see what this looks like. All right. Awesome. I didn't. Okay. Let's try this again. I will go to the personal side of things. All right. I'm going to go to my name in the top right corner. I'm going to go down to settings when that menu pops up. And I'm going to go to connect settings. And then I'm going to go to marketing profile. And this is what I expected to see before. Okay, awesome. So this is what everybody should be seeing. If this slider is not highlighted green, then it means it's off. We definitely want that on the right position. So you're going to slide that to the right, make sure that it's green, because the information that is here is going to be the branding on your app and on your website. And Tracy, I think what you asked me is going to be found here. So we've got our photo right off the bat, team logo if there is a team logo, and then you have your name fields here, team name if you need it, professional job title, Slogan, if you have one, any designations you can put there. Bio is required, so you got a red asterisk for every field that is required. Okay. And your website, if you don't know exactly what your website is, I'm going to show you where we go get those settings so that you know. For most of you, when you, with pretty much any Keller Williams office, when you onboard, a lot of those onboarding services are actually pre-filling this out for you. Your market center brokerage logo, so it's imperative that this is what's known as your DBA, or doing business as logo. So, let's say it's Keller Williams E2P, but your office is actually KW Innovate. That's the logo that would need to be there, is the Innovate logo. Okay. And just verify all the information here is correct. A legal footer, if your office provides one for you, that's where it would go. And then your social media links. So all the social media links that you put here are going to show up as clickable icons in the header of your website. Okay, so that's another way that your customers can connect with you. So if you fill them out here, they will find their way there. Google Analytics ID, I'm not going to get into any high-level stuff really today, unless somebody wants to, maybe get to that at the end or after. But I did kind of need to keep this at a level where we're all kind of understanding what's going on. So I'm not going to go real high level. But if you do have a Google Analytics tracking ID and you understand how all that works, you can actually put that in here, and it's going to put it in the footer of your website. Okay. And then just make sure that when you're done, you're going to hit save. And then you'll have all your information saved in there. And that's going to take care of the branding on your website. All right. So next place we're going to go is we're actually going to go to the site's applet. And just to give you the little rundown on this, so I'm going to refer to these as icons or applets. If I say icons, I mean applets. And if I say applets, I mean icons. I'm going to use them interchangeably. All right. If you hover over each one, it will tell you what it is. However, if you don't know, you can actually expand this menu in one shot and make it really easy to see what's there. Just click on the white KW in the red square. It expands the menu, and now I can see everything and go right to where I want to go. So I'm going to go down to websites on the last icon down on the left-hand side here. And this is going to bring me into my site to edit the agent's site, and then also my settings are here. Okay, so if you don't know what the URL is or the domain, this is actually called a subdomain because we're putting something before the kw.com. So in this case, and for most agents, unless you've changed it or requested something specific, it is normally some combination of your first and last name or first initial and last name, something like that. You can change it if you want something else, like for branding. Erica, awesome. I'm getting right to that point, so I'll be able to help you with that, okay? Okay, so that's going to be your URL right there. And right now we're going to go to settings. All right, so I'm going to go to settings. And Erica, this is where you want to be with me. So if anybody has the same situation as Erica, where you have not claimed a subdomain, this is where you're going to claim that, okay? As long as nobody in the 170,000 agents or whatever it is with Keller Williams has that, then it's available for you to take immediately. So if you have a branding name or, Call Paul or whatever the case may be, and you want that to be your subdomain, you can do that. So you would just go in here, even though my wife's name is in here right now, I could change this, put something else in, hit save changes, and if it's available, it'll automatically claim that subdomain for me. Okay, so Erica, I'm gonna can this be changed in the future? Yes, it can be changed in the future. Yeah, so if you decide that you want to do some branding later, you're still kind of working out what you want your branding to be, you can come back here and change it. So I think typically what's best is to just do your first and last name until you get all that sorted out. And then we can also get into more advanced things. Like I can go buy a GoDaddy domain of whatever I want it to be, and then I can point that GoDaddy domain to this subdomain. So there's lots of different ways you can do it. You can certainly reach out to me. My number, that's my real cell phone number and my email address. So you can make note of that and reach out to me. Just to let you know too, because I got a lot of new faces on here. I run what's known as Pro Desk 4 days a week for 2 hours a day. For my Eastern time people, Monday is from 11 to 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday is from 10 a.m. to noon. So then it's just an hour earlier for all the E2P agents. So what is that? 10 to noon on Monday, and then 9 to, wait, is that right? Yeah. And then 9 to 11, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sorry. Okay. And then, so yeah, you can always pop in there. It is kind of first come, first served. It's an open Zoom room, kind of like an open desk hour, 2 hours. And you can just come in with any questions. If you want help kind of navigating or customizing your website, we can get into that too. Okay, and then as we come down here, mine's gonna look a little bit different because there are some team settings in here too, so just ignore that stuff. Do you see forced registration? Dolores, I'm gonna refer to you because I know you're following along. Do you have the forced registration in the same area?
I do, yes.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about this, okay? Forced registration means how many properties are you going to let the viewer see before you force them to register for an account on your website. And agents have all kinds of different ideas about that. I am not a fan of giving the milk away for free for an eternity. I think at some point you need to capture their information. It's one of the biggest reasons why agents want a website is to capture leads. I do think that 2 properties is way too few. I really wish there was a 5 in here between 2 and 10, but there's not. So I typically have mine set to 10. Keep in mind, this is my wife's, and she doesn't always refer to her tech guy, so hers is on 2. But I would change this to 10.
Does this apply to the website and the app at the same time, or just the website?
No, because the app doesn't really work that way.
Okay.
Unless there's any changes in the new version of it. Now to save, doesn't the app force you? I think the app forces you to sign up for an account. No? Okay, but if they want to save anything, they do have to create an account. Yeah.
What app are you talking about?
So you have a consumer app. There's 2 apps that you have as an agent. Okay.
Yeah.
With Keller Williams. So there's a red square. If you go to your app store, there's a red square with a white KW in it. That's your command app. So that's going to be your agent tool. That's going to be command on your phone, command on your iPad, whatever. Then there's a white square with a red KW in it, and that is your consumer app. So if they want to search for properties on their mobile device versus internet, like your website, then you can actually share that link with them. And the easiest way to share that link for your branded app is to have the command app on your phone. And if you click on, once you're in the command app, you have your name in the top left corner. If you click on that, about halfway down that menu, you're going to see share my app link. And the new feature of it is that when you click share my app link, it's automatically going to use whatever you decide, right? I'm an iPhone user. So when I click share my app link, it's going to take me to a new window where I have the ability to do it by text or Facebook or, Gmail, whatever the case may be. It'll pre-formulate a message for me that I can edit, and then I can share it that way. So that's the easiest way to do it. It used to be convoluted where we had to like go into the app and share it, and it was a nightmare. So it's a lot easier to do it that way now. Okay. So then once I have what I want the settings to be here, so unrestricted obviously means you're never going to ask them. No property viewing. If you send somebody to their website and then automatically ask them to sign up and give you information before you've given them anything of value, like being able to look at any properties, they are going to bounce. They will never give you information before you've given them something to look at. Okay, so I definitely wouldn't recommend no property viewing. And then, like I said, I think 2 is too few because they haven't had enough time to engage and feel like, you know, they've spent too much time, so they want to give the information so that they can actually stay there. 2 properties isn't enough. They're probably going to bounce with that too. Okay, and then you just want to make sure you hit save changes. And once we have that done, we can go to edit my website here, or when we were on this first part, my website, we can go to edit agent site. Now, I'm going to stop right there just in case I'm moving a little fast. I want to slow down and answer any questions that might be there. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay, I don't see any in the chat, so we'll keep moving. So I'm going to hit edit agent site. And now this is going to bring me into my basic editor. And like I said, there's a lot of features that are showing up here. One thing that's cool, if you've done any kind of website building in the past, even with Wix or any of the like, you know, what you see is what you get, really easy builders, you actually have this ability up here to see what it looks like on a laptop or a desktop, a mobile tablet, and then a phone, right? You can actually change the view so you know what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna go back to the laptop here. And everybody, Dora Cherico has just entered the classroom, and she is my business partner I was talking about. So she's gonna be kind of monitoring the chat, and she'll help with any questions too. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my homepage. So there's lots of new features that have popped up here if you haven't seen it lately.
Can you tell me how you went there again? And because I don't.
Okay. So let me get back. So are you with me here at the edit agent site?
Let me go back.
If you click on websites, it should bring you right here.
Okay, you went in the applet for that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then does it look like mine, Dolores?
Let me make it bigger and see what it's. No. Visit expert mode for full access. Expert mode.
Let me see. So you don't want expert mode. I'm wondering.
Okay. That's probably why, because yeah, I remember coming in here before and seeing that and being like, okay, I have no idea how to do whatever it's, and yeah.
Are you on a computer?
I am.
Can you share your screen with me? Because this might help other people that might be having the same issue. If you don't mind sharing your screen.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing, and then we'll take a look at yours. Because it should be operating just like mine, and if it's not, we might have a bug we need to report.
Okay.
For anybody else that's jumped in recently, if you could turn your cameras on, I would appreciate it. And then in the chat, just let us know which office you're with. Yeah. That's a bug. Click on homepage for me. On the left hand.
Where are you talking about homepage?
Do you see homepage over there under agent site? It's right above that big blue box that says visit export.
Inside homepage. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is where I'm at. You do have some kind of bug there that we might want to take a look at, but this is where I'm at. Okay?
Okay.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
You want me to unshare?
Yeah, I got
Stop
you.
sharing?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. All right. So let's jump back in here. Okay. So I'm going to go to edit agent site, and now we're here in what's known as, we call it the basic editor. It doesn't really have a name, I suppose. But it's in this basic editor within command. And I'm going to click on homepage, and I have some new options here. So banner, I can actually add some images here if you don't like the images that come with the site. Because especially for like Dora and myself, who are in Florida and surrounded by tropical waters and that sort of thing, there's a lot of those photos that come with your website that do not look anything like our area. So we typically will change those for more Florida looking photos. So you can do that. Another thing is you can put a video in here. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to use a couple of websites that I've either built, coached agents into building, or Dora and I have set up as our own demo website. So I'm going to show you how you can make this website look really good, kind of luxurize it a little bit. Dolores, did you have a question?
No, sorry.
No, that's okay. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you the one that we built for Dora. Just to kind of show you some of these new features and how you can really make the website stand out. So we use this as a luxury demo. And right off the bat, you're going to notice this video. And the video really gives the website an awesome look. The other thing that you might notice is I don't have a white header bar up here with my navigation in that. So this is called a transparent header, and this allows my navigation to float right in the video or the photo, and it just gives it a really nice look. The featured properties, we're going to get into that too. You do have the ability to change the name. It does not have to say featured properties like it says for everybody else. You can change that to suit your needs. So for us, we just gave it a name of the Lux property list, and then there's a description to that title, and we just put in there a curated list of exquisite luxury homes. Okay. There's new designs around how these listings show up too, which is great. You do have your testimonials are built into the website as well if you want. Now, it does not pull Google reviews or Zillow reviews or any of that. It does not link to that at all. However, what's really cool about it, Tracy, are you asking me how I got to where I am exactly right now? This is a demo website. Okay, awesome. This is a demo website. So I'm just pointing some things out, and then I'll take us through these things in the editor. But thank you for asking, because I don't want to get too far ahead. So no way to actually pull reviews in, but what's nice about that is you can actually put these reviews in. Your customers don't have to. Now, I don't think you ought to make stuff up, but it makes it really easy for you to just go get your Google reviews, put them on here, your Zillow reviews, put them on here. Yelp, is that still a thing? Does anybody use Yelp anymore? But wherever you have reviews, you can actually put them on here and have your own database on your website of reviews from wherever they come from. Okay. And then this is the blog feature. I'm going to show you another website. So one of the things that agents love about these really expensive sites like Boomtown and Brivity is when you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you get under, the search bar and the agent info and stuff like that. You will see all of these like community pages and one-click links of properties and all that. We can actually recreate that by converting the blog into a communities pages database, so to speak. Okay. So I'm going to show you an example of that in a minute. But most of us don't have time to blog. And if you are blogging, I highly recommend ChatGPT or Gemini at this point. No sense in you doing the research. Let it do it. Just to throw this out there too, do I have any ChatGPT users in here? Yeah, look at all those hands. I love it. Yeah, a little bit, Martha. Well, I specialize in that too. So stick around. Let's become buddies. I can help you with that. All right. I do want to throw this out there though. With your technology fee with Keller Williams that you're already paying as part of a Keller Williams agent, you now have Gemini Advanced. So if you've been holding back from ChatGPT because you don't want to pay the $20 a month, which I understand everybody has a budget for everything. I will also say that that $20 a month is the best money you will ever spend in your real estate career, because what ChatGPT does, the fact that it's still only $20 a month blows my mind. But we won't let OpenAI know that that's ridiculous. But if that is a roadblock or you're just not sure because you don't know if you're going to use it enough, you're already paying the Keller Williams tech fee, and now Gemini Advanced is included in that. So at the end, I'll show you how to access it just as kind of a bonus, but that is basically having the paid version of ChatGPT. Okay, it's Google's version of ChatGPT, so it's a little different. If you do use ChatGPT and you go start using Gemini, it's gonna have to learn you the same way that ChatGPT did. But it's nice having that because that's a $20 a month value as well. Okay, so we've got our blog there, and then we get down, we've got a contact form, and then your agent branding is here. They got rid of I guess it's still in one of the templates, but this used to have this circle with this weird like circle banner around it and these sparklies, and then it would superimpose your logo on it, and it would chop your logo all up to where you couldn't even read your logo. So if that's still an option, I don't even know if it is because I got rid of that. Dora, do you know if it's still there in the standard template? I think they got rid of it.
I'm not positive on that one. It was super ugly. I pretend we didn't have it.
Yeah. So in any event, I would highly recommend that you choose a different template just to get rid of that. Okay. And then as we come down, we've got a map showing the map of where your office is located, your office information, that sort of thing. And if I scroll up to the top, and actually it just stays there for me. Okay. So do you see the logos up here? I got a LinkedIn logo and an Instagram logo. That's where the social media icons are going to show up if you put the social media links in the marketing profile like we did in the beginning. Okay, that's where they'll show up. Other cool thing is that we can translate the website in a bunch of different languages. Okay, so you can choose that. Now, what doesn't get translated, I'm going to need to choose something relatively. I don't want to get to the point where I can't go back. All right, so let's change the website to Spanish. And all of the inherent text, meaning the text that I didn't create. So you see Discover Florida Luxury Living here. I put that in because I have the ability as the agent to put that in. The selections here, the language that's in the search bar, the actual search button itself, that is all part of the actual template. So that language will change. If I really want a Spanish website, then I would have to make sure that I put all of my titles in Spanish as well. Okay, so the search bar, the header image here, the hero image title here, I would have to translate. Anything that I actually put in myself as a title or a description, I would have to translate. But the rest of it is all translated, even the information that comes from the MLS. So that might be helpful for some people too.
Now, do we just have choice for one language, or like when you do want to use a different language, you have to go in and change it and then send it over to the client, or how do we?
So this is me looking at it as a consumer.
Mhm.
So Martha, all they would have to do is click on the icon here, the globe icon, and just put it in whatever language they want to.
Oh, okay, so they
It's
have
not
the app.
anything you do. Yeah, it's user
Okay.
input. Yep, great question.
Mhm.
Yep. All right, so let's get that back. Okay, and then it'll refresh for me. All right. Good question. Tracy asked, where do you suggest we go to find options for banner photos and videos? There's a lot of free sources out there. So there's pexels.com, and is my cohort putting them in for me?
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
just grabbing my list and I'm going to copy and paste it. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Pexels.com, unsplash.com. These are free sources where you can get royalty-free images and videos. You may subscribe to something that provides that stuff. I do a lot of video editing, so I subscribe to Storyblocks, which is a paid subscription that gives me all kinds of photos and videos and B-roll video and sound effects and songs, music, all that stuff. So if you have something like that, you already have it. The other cool thing, especially with images, not so much video, but your Gemini Advanced and ChatGPT, you can totally create an image there and use that if you want. Okay. So if you've played around with generating images in AI, those images that it spits out are actually royalty free. They belong to you as the one that prompted the AI to provide that image. What's my thought on CapCut? CapCut is less awesome now because there's no free version of it. My understanding is they're all paid now. It is a great program. I find the mobile app to be easier than the desktop version, especially like when you're trying to do green screen stuff, virtual green screen stuff where you can remove the background and layer it and things like that. You're welcome, Tracy. Thank you for that. So it's good, and especially if you're familiar with it, Martha. It's like anything else. What's the best camera that we could ever have? Anybody, tell me. The one you have with you, which is what? Which is what? Our phone. That's right. Right. And especially where the cameras are now, those phones are every bit as good as a digital SLR if you know how to use it. And there's even like, it gets crazy if you don't know this, but if you have like a modern day iPhone, I have a 15 Pro. So especially if you have the triple cameras, it still does it with the double cameras as well too. But you have like f-stop and shutter speed, and like you actually have access to all that stuff you would have on a real camera. Your native app doesn't do it for you, but there's an app called, I think it's the Black Magic camera app, that will open up all the settings of your camera and allows for white balance and all kinds of stuff. So that being said, what's the best of anything that we have? It's the one that we know how to use or we're going to use it, right? So just like the video editor, Martha, if you like CapCut, I wouldn't want to introduce you to anything else, because if you're using it and you know how to use it, that's all that matters, because otherwise you're spinning your wheels trying to start to learn something else. I will tell you that I love Wondershare Filmora. It's relatively inexpensive. I think it's $120 for the year. But it's a really high level video editor like Adobe Premiere Pro or Final Cut, which is Apple's version, right? So any of this stuff, it's whatever you're going to use. Samsung user, love your camera. Yes, and I will say, Erica, that's probably superior to iPhone. Pixel and Samsung cameras tend to be a little bit better than iPhone, but we're not going to get into that debate. Okay, so those are some resources to get the images and video if you want them. The other thing too is photographers. If you have a relationship with a real estate photographer, see if they have area photos and videos that you can license from them. You know, maybe you pay them a one-time fee for a bunch of B-roll video and images from your area. I know here where I'm at in on the southwest coast of Florida, I've had multiple photographers that will allow that. Okay, but you don't want to find something on Google, right click, save image as, and steal it, because that is intellectual property theft, carries the same kind of penalties as copyright infringement. And if somebody, especially because you'd be putting it on a public facing website, you could get caught. So you definitely want to use royalty free sources. Okay, so that's kind of a rundown on one that we've put some time into. I am going to show you this blog on this other page. This is something that you can utilize our resources on ProDesk, because a lot of the training that I've done on this, they've actually utilized ProDesk to talk to me about it. But this is a team in the Tampa area that I've trained. I've worked with their assistant to build out their website, and she has done a fantastic job with it. Okay, so we work together. I trained her on converting that blog page, the blog posts, into community pages. Okay, so they've done a great job with their testimonials here too. And then here's the blog post. So this first image is kind of like a home page that'll take me to their entire blog directory. They've kind of commingled theirs because they do a couple of things. They do morning coffee newsletter, which is the husband's newsletter that he sends out to his sphere. He also incorporates it on the website. And then chats on the porch, which is a cute thing. They're an older couple and they sit in their rocking chairs on the porch of their cute little front porch home in Dunedin, Florida. And they have these chats where they talk about things in the real estate industry. Okay, and that's their YouTube videos that are kind of commingled in there too. But if I come down here and we go to Dunedin, we can see this isn't like some boring canned blog post that all 170,000 agents have on their website. This is actually customized. And then once I go in here, you can actually create one-click search links so that if I like Dunedin and I'm liking what I see about Dunedin, I can click on this first one, homes up to 300, and it's going to take me right into a page of search results for homes up to 300,000 in Dunedin. All of this kind of functionality is available on this website. A lot of this stuff is in the expert mode, but with the proper guidance, like me or Dora, you don't really have to be that much of an expert. You just have to know where to go and how to do it. Martha, did you have a question?
So this is where, like, what
So,
you're showing us?
yep, this is where we've taken a blog post and made it a community page.
Community page. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then once we're in the community page, we can put an image about the community, information. I could put videos in here. This could be as long as I want it to be. It could be a full-fledged blog with multiple photos, videos, all that stuff.
Okay.
And then we put some of these one-click search links in here. So if I click on it, it just takes me within my same website. Now it's opening up in another page for a reason. Anybody know why I want my links to open up in another tab? I think you're telling me, Dolores, but you're on mute. Oh, no? Okay. I always want my links to open in a new tab, because if for some reason the customer said, no, I don't like any of these, and they X out, guess what? My website's still behind it. If I had it open in the same tab and they X out, they've lost me. And sometimes, most of the time, probably lost me forever. Right? So that's another thing that we want to do when we're setting up links on our website. So that's how kind of fancy we can take that blog post, so that the blog page is more meaningful than just being a bunch of canned blogs. Or even if you do your own blogs and it's information you're getting from ChatGPT, which I'm a huge advocate of, using AI to write those blog posts and articles and stuff. I think the community pages are more useful. I think it provides more value to the end user than reading articles. Because does anybody like to read anymore? It's funny. We went to video because nobody likes to read, and now ain't nobody got time to watch videos, so we read the captions. I don't get it. But anyway, it's just definitely a lot more useful way of using that blog feature. Because honestly, if you're blogging to a really high level that you need to like show up on the first page of Google for certain results and stuff, that's a full-time job. You almost have to have a full-time assistant to be able to do that. And real estate certainly doesn't allow us time for that. Okay, so that's where we can make some of these changes for the video, the images. We can put our YouTube video in there. I think the other one is Vimeo. Yep. You can upload a video too if you want. If it's really short, you can do that. I'm almost 100%. That's what we did with Dora's video, is we uploaded it because it's just a really short like sweep of a waterfront property. Search bar. You can actually change this from search bar to a custom button. So why would I want to do a custom button? Well, if I'm a commercial agent and I don't want to have to pay for some crazy expensive website, and I'm already paying for like a commercial resource like Crexy, and I have listings on Crexy or something like that, then I can actually eliminate the search bar, put a button in there that says search commercial properties. And when they click on that, it goes to my Crexy listings. Okay. Or even for luxury agents, if you have another source that you want to draw people to for your luxury listings, whatever, you could use a button for that. And then there's none. I don't know why you'd want none, but the option's there. All right. And then hide rent. Now, here's the funny thing. Dora and I are both in Florida. We like where she sits right now, because it's not where she lives, but where she sits right now, actually, no, it's where you live. You're like directly across the state from me. Now you're a little bit higher. But just the width of the state, the real estate market is, and y'all know how skinny the peninsula of Florida is, right? It's really not that big in the grand scheme of things. The real estate market is that different. In my area, all up and down the West Coast, so from like Tampa all the way down through Fort Myers and Naples, we might get paid $50 to $250 tops to connect a tenant to a landlord. On Dora's coast, on the east coast of Florida, there's agents over there that make the same amount of living as they do selling homes just on rentals. So you have the option to turn it off if you want. I turn it off, but Dora's agents probably don't or shouldn't where they are. You want to talk to that, Dora?
Yeah, down in West Palm Beach, that's where they're doing it. But here in Brevard County, I wouldn't have it on.
More like
It's not the same. Yeah. It's a little bit different. I mean, if you're the listing side of it, yeah, you can make some money. But if you're the buy side of it, you're really not making any money. So yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, South Florida, Palm Beach County, Miami-Dade, Broward,
Yeah, Broward.
down there, because you're talking about rents that are $10,000 to $80,000 a month, right? Think about athletes too. It's not uncommon for an athlete to pay $50,000 a month in a rental, and so that could be good money. But it's not for me, so I turn it off. I don't even want to be bothered with it because I can't make any money off of it. Do I want to help people? Sure. But I also have to make a living. And if I'm putting them in my car and showing them all these places and I get $50 at best when I connect them, that doesn't even pay for the gas. So I just turn it off on mine. So just know that you have that ability.
I'm not getting all the stuff you're showing us.
Can you guys still see my screen or no?
I can see your screen, but I mean, when I'm scrolling through my website, I don't have those options.
Are you under? Okay, so let me go.
Oh, I should go under banner?
I'm back in the editor. I'm in command.
Okay.
Is that where you are?
Yes.
Okay. So if I go to, this is where we were when we came in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I clicked on edit agent site, this is where it brings me, and then click on homepage.
Mm-hmm.
And then banner.
Oh, okay. I didn't click
Okay.
on banner. Okay.
Yep. And then right under search bar content, you have hide rent. So I'm gonna turn mine on because I don't want it. Okay, cool. So that takes care of the banner. We're going to go back. Yeah, I want to cancel. I want to make sure I publish. So remember that. And it won't let me. So let's try this again. Banner. I want to hide rent. And then we're going to go to publish up in the top right. Okay. Make sure you see that down at the bottom. Page published successfully. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the plus sign. This is add content. This is where we're probably going to see the most new features coming. So when I hit add content, the only thing I have here right now is blog post. But I think eventually we're going to see that we can create custom pages here, create landing pages here. We don't know for sure, but that's what we think is going to happen here. So right now I'm not using this part. The next item down is the design studio. So this color palette, this art palette here, this is where we can choose the theme, font, colors, all that stuff. Okay. So most of you have this theme right now, which is the classic. The luxury website that you saw, that was actually the modern theme. So you can just choose to select the theme. You can preview it. So we can go ahead and preview it here, and it's going to show us a little bit about what it looks like. And then if you don't like the color palette as far as it like being really dark, you do have choices down here. So where you see the circles, let's go ahead and select the theme. And then once I select it, I have all of these colors that I can choose from. Mint Light is the newest version, and Mint Dark. So they've added that little mint green color to it. Hopefully at some point we see the ability to just use a color picker like that so that we can kind of choose our own brand colors. But right now, these are what we have to choose from. Okay, so if I didn't like how dark that was, I could choose Carbon Light, save changes. And now when I look at it, we're going to see that it's, okay, maybe not. Because I have to publish. Okay, and then view in browser. And now I have that light version versus that really dark version. Any questions on any of that so far? Okay. All right, let's get rid of that one. So let me ask this. It's a good place to kind of stop for now. We got about 30 minutes left. What are some of the things that you'd like to do to your website or see in your website? What kind of customization does everybody have in mind for something they'd like to see on their website? Anybody have any ideas? Let me propose this. Does everybody know that you have a home valuation page on your website? that perked up Martha. I saw the eyebrows raise. So that is a nice lead generation tool, right? We can actually do Facebook ads to that. And we can guide people right to that page. We can use a QR code and send people to that page. So I'm going to take us into the expert editor to show you how to add that page by itself. Okay. I'm going to double check on this website and see if it's already there. So I know what I'm working with here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So if I'm right here right now and I want to go to my Facebook, just to that, the one you're talking about, how do I get into that? How do I just specifically go there and do what you're doing?
To get into Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything about Facebook.
But this is a blog page, this page.
This is my website. There is a blog feature to it, but it has nothing to do with Facebook.
Right. Okay. But the Keller Williams has one like that for us. And I worked with you, I think 2-3 weeks ago in the class, and I went through it and I and I changed everything, and you said look at it through your phone and you can share it and they can go through it and you can share so many homes that they can look at, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's when we did a Facebook ad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a Facebook ad. And Ingrid, I can help you with that, but I don't want to go down that road in this class because it's two totally different things and I don't want it to get confusing.
Okay.
All right. So, and also, Ingrid, this is for you and anybody else that it helps. All of our past, I just got access to the Facebook groups for, well, right now I'm only in Innovate. I'm trying to get, what's the other one? Is it Excellence? What's the other one?
Infinity?
No, it starts with an E.
Experience.
Thank you. Yes, Experience.
Don't have those memorized yet.
I'm waiting to get access to Experience. So we will be publishing the recordings of all of the virtual trainings in there. So I'll be putting a past recording of the Facebook ads class in there so that if it helps with anybody refreshing their memory and that sort of thing. All right. So let's go add that home valuation page to our website. So one thing I want to show you right now is I'm on the website right now. If I go to more, the only thing that's here is leave a review, right? What we're going to do is we're going to add a page to the website that when we hover over more, we're going to see leave a review and what's my home worth. Okay, so that's what we're going to go do right now. So let me get rid of that and that. All right, so I'm in my design studio here. We were looking at the theme. I'm going to go into expert mode. All right, brace yourselves, put your seatbelts on, strap in. It's about to get gnarly. It's not that bad. All right, we're going to go to expert mode. And once expert mode loads here, they have made it super convenient for us. There's a lot of different ways that you can add content here. And again, I'm not going to dive too deep here. I'd rather like work with you guys on ProDesk in a smaller setting and just cover specific things that you want to tackle. But there are some easy ways to create content here. I can go to the plus sign and I can choose what I want down this drop down. However, I think one of the easiest things is to just choose from these tiles right in front of us. Okay. So I'm actually going to go to the template for home valuation. I'm going to click on that. And I just noticed I'm going to be changing the wrong website, so I'm not going to do that. Hold on just a second.
You'll get in trouble.
I'll get in trouble with myself. It's my website. I don't want to change. Okay.
Brett, while you're doing that, I'm sorry, when you, because there's a question in the chat about the more tab, instead of having the more tab, can they not have the more tab and just list them separately at the top?
You can, absolutely. And that's pretty advanced.
That's why I wanted you to talk about it.
Yeah, so we could do that. I could always do a follow-up class where it's a little bit more advanced. However, I think things like that are better suited in a more, we don't do one-on-ones with the E2P group, but when you're on ProDesk, a lot of times there's not a lot of people there and it ends up being a one-on-one. So I think that's the best place to tackle that. But yes, absolutely. Anything that goes in the more tab, you can create a custom navigation around that. Yep. Great question, Gina. Okay. So just in case anybody does happen to be on a team, when you're in the expert editor, you need to make sure that you are working on the correct website. So right now I can see this is the Bishop group and that's the website I'm about to change and I don't want to because that one is pretty much set. So if I click on this, you'll see Amanda Bishop. This is the solo agent website that I want to change. So I'm going to click on that. And then I should see that I'm editing that website. So right here, check your website here. Just make sure that URL is the one, that subdomain is the one that you anticipate changing if you happen to be on a team. If you're a solo agent, you're only going to have the one. Okay. So I'm going to go back to, now that I'm in the right website, I'm going to go to the template for home valuation. And I can give it a different name if I want. My description. So let's see. We're going to go down here. I'm okay with what this says, home valuation. I'm going to go down here to where I see the home value search component, because this is what allows me to change this wording. So right now it says ready to discover your home's value. Let's find your home to get started. I think that we, for whatever reason, you guys have dealt with the public a lot too, especially when it comes to technology. You have to be very specific about what you want people to do. So in the description, I'm actually going to provide the instruction. So I'm going to click on this drop down for the home value search component. And then here is where that title is showing up, ready to discover your home's value. Not a big fan of that personally. So I'm just going to type in, what's your home worth? Okay. And then the description, going to say, please enter your address below. See how many characters we got here. Please enter your address below for your instance okay. So then I've given specific instructions, and I can add other things here. I can add other modules if I want. I'm not going to get too complicated on this, but let's say I had a video, that kind of explains. I might, and it's a great thing to do for this, right? Is this instant home value really going to be all that? It's like a Zestimate, right? It might be a decent range. It could be a niche market where the market is still really good and everything else around it is not, right? We have that going on, especially here in Florida. So I could actually have a video that says, hey, thank you for your inquiry about your home's value. Just to let you know, this is an instant value, no obligation. However, if you'd like a professional opinion of value, then, reach out to me, call me, blah, 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 whatever that video looks like for you. You could actually add a video to this page too, to kind of help them with that process. I'm going to keep it simple though. I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. All right. And then we're just going to hit save. So I have to laugh about this all the time, because the save icon being a 3.5 floppy disk at some point very soon is not going to be understood by many people. So we're going to hit save, and then we're going to go to publish.
Wait, where's that save disk?
It's the little disk icon right here next to the eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go see what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my website. All right. And now when I go to more, it makes a liar out of me every time. Oh, I think I know why. All right. So I hit publish there, and then I want to return to dashboard. Sometimes it just takes a bit. So then I normally go to another browser and look. And we'll see this pop up in a minute. Some of these changes are not instant. Sometimes they take a few minutes. Sometimes they just like to make a liar out of me. But we'll see it there shortly. Okay, so while we're waiting on that, anybody have any questions? One thing to keep in mind too is if you are using, I know what I'll do. I'll show you guys how to create the transparent header. Okay, because if you use a transparent header, you definitely want to make sure you're using the right logo because this gray logo gets totally lost. So we either want the all white and it all depends on what the image or video is behind it, right? But we either want the all white logo or the red with the white lettering logo. All right, so here's how we make changes to our homepage in the expert mode. So we're going to go down here to custom homepage, and it's going to say default homepage if you haven't made any changes to it. We're going to bring that up. I see why it hasn't done my home valuation page too. I'll come back to it in a minute. All right. Listing search module. That one we already set up. So this is where you can provide the title that goes over the search module. You can also add images and video here. So we got custom images. We can go to custom video. We saw in the basic editor that we can do that as well. Okay. This is where it was before it went to the custom editor, but you can do it in either place. Then we come down and our featured properties. So the featured properties is pretty powerful. You can have it in a grid, which you're probably used to seeing on a lot of other professional real estate websites. You can have it in a slider, like a carousel. I actually have been converting mine to the grid. I don't like the carousel because it shows very few properties, especially on the new modern theme. I love the new modern theme, but I don't like the carousel because the pictures are much bigger and you only get to see 2 before you have to hit the button to slide. Okay. So I'm going to use the grid, and then this is where you can change the title. So right now it says featured properties. This is where I changed it on that luxury website and said the Lux property collection or whatever it said, and then description, a curated list of luxury properties. So you can put that there and it shows up under the featured properties or whatever you put for a title. Dynamic and static. Let's see. Or basic. So dynamic is what we want to provide properties from a search result. Okay. So in this case, I'm using my market center's location, and it's finding properties with up to 10 and within a 20-mile radius of that address. Now, I personally live over an hour away from my office, so I'm actually going to change that. And I change it to, I'm not going to change it to that address for here. I'll use a commercial address. So let's see, but one that's closer to me. So if you are a good distance away from your actual office where you hang your license, and you're selling property like me, I sell property in this area. I don't sell any property near my office. So I use an address up here in my location to be the pinpoint around that, to set up that radius. There it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna choose a commercial address, and then I'll actually see in real time these properties change and update to be a radius from this new location now. So all these properties changed and gave me properties around the new location. All right, and then max number to display. I can't remember if there is a max on this. So yeah, we'll see more when we go look at the website. But okay, so that's it. Now let's say I want to have those properties. I want to have a list of properties in my featured properties that are from a search result, but I have my own listing and I want to make sure my listing shows up first. Then I'm going to go here to pinned listings, and I can search by address or MLS number. I'm going to search by address. And keep in mind that the properties that show up in here are a nationwide database of the MLS. Another huge advantage of using your Keller Williams website, for those of you that don't know, it is an international MLS, basically. So all of the MLS listings across the entire country, some of the islands, because Puerto Rico is actually a part of my MLS now, Canadian listings, they all show up on your Keller Williams website. You cannot financially recreate that type of access to listings if you were to buy a Boomtown or Brivity website. It's just not financially possible. It would cost you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to do it. So that's a huge advantage that we have. Okay, so I'm going to choose that. And now what we're going to see is we're going to see my listing pop up first and then the grid of the rest of the properties. Okay, so there's my listing and now I get the grid. Is there an obvious question in what we're looking at here? Does anybody have a question about this?
Yeah, how'd you get there to add your own listing?
So were you with me when we were under the featured properties?
No, I think I lost you when you left to do the transparent logo. I lost
Oh,
you there.
I haven't even done
Oh,
that yet. I haven't even done that yet. So we're still on the main page, custom homepage, custom. Are you there?
no,
All
I'm
right.
in, it says home layouts. Let me go back,
You're still in the basic editor, aren't you?
probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep moving on, but if you want,
Okay.
if you want to hang out with me afterwards or as we get to the end, I'll come back and catch you up. Okay. So that has us right here, and then I can pin other listings. So if I have another listing, I can add it here. I don't know that there's a limit. It will only display a certain amount, but if I put my pin listings, it's always going to show my pin listings first. Okay. I can filter listings too. So if I only want to show actives, I can do that. I can show pendings if you wanted to for some reason. And then property types. I only want houses. I don't want condos and land and all that. I don't want to clutter my featured properties list with a bunch of lots. So I will change that. You can even set bathroom and bedroom minimum. So it's pretty cool, all the stuff that you can do to set that. Now, like on the luxury page, you see I have a price minimum here. On Dora's website that we use for the luxury demo site, I just set this to $1 million plus. So I set the minimum price at $1 million. So if you are a luxury agent and you want to do something like that, then you can do that. And then you'll only have $1 million plus properties showing up on the featured properties. Okay, so we have that. And then our testimonials. Testimonials is another place. There's another part of the website in the expert editor. It is only in the expert editor. So if you want to know how to add testimonials, I'll show us real quick, but I won't go into great detail. Again, it's a thing that you can find me on ProDesk and we can work together. But you have kind of the same functionality here where I can have it dynamic. I can have 1 to 9 of those testimonials show. I can filter them by star rating or city or state, zip code. I can mark featured testimonials and pin those. And then here is our blog page. So this is where we would change that so it doesn't say my blog. It would say community pages, right? Or communities of Naperville or whatever the case may be. Newest published date, that's fine. And then these are all of the canned featured blogs. So if I want to remove one, and if I was building my own community pages, I would want to remove them. I don't want any of these canned ones that every Keller Williams agent has on their website. So I'm going to hit the minus, and I'm just going to delete all of them. And then I would replace them by hitting the add button and then searching for the blog post that I created. So once I hit search, I can change this any content type to blog post. And then I would find the community page that I created, and then that would go into my list. Okay, it'll make more sense when you guys are actually ready to start building those pages, and then we can just kind of walk through it step by step. I'm just kind of giving you an overview here. But just to let you know that there's a lot of functionality in these websites now too. Okay, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want to go too far into
Brett,
yeah, Dora.
can you please go over where they changed if they wanted to add the luxury logo? And you can only use the luxury logo though if you are
If you qualify
if you qualify for luxury.
Yeah, if you're earned in.
Yeah, if you earned in. So can you show them where and that is at?
Yeah.
And you may have done it in the beginning. I'm sorry if I missed it.
No,
But
no.
Somebody's asking.
I didn't.
Okay.
I was probably avoiding it because I stumble over this, but that's all right.
It's totally fine.
So
Marketing profile?
no,
Or you did different on here.
well, I did. Yeah. So
It's marketing profile.
You can use marketing profile. Yeah.
Mhm. I think that's the easiest, but
There's an override in the expert editor.
Let's not get carried away now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take us back there because that's easy.
So Ingrid, you're going to want to ask your market center because every market center for luxury, you have to sell 4 listings within 24 months that meet a certain dollar price point. So I was in the Wellington office. That threshold was a lot higher than it is here in the Melbourne office. So my threshold here in Brevard County in Melbourne, Florida is 700,000. But in Wellington, it was a different number. So get with your leadership team on that.
Yep. And mine here is the same as Dora's. But if you go to the more wealthy communities, then the floor tends to be like, it was $1 million in Wellington, wasn't it? Or was it higher?
I think it was $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Naples is
You know what? It may have been, no, I think if they changed it over the years, I don't know. It was a lot.
0.3, something like that. Yeah.
It wasn't like where I grew up in Iowa where it was a little bit less.
How much is that cornfield?
That's right. I'm happy to say it.
Okay. So if I did want to add the luxury logo, I can utilize the team logo. Okay. So I'm going to go to, this is something that we went over in the beginning just to refresh everybody's memory. And some of you joined after we went over it. So Dora, thank you for reminding me. Okay. So we're going to go to our name in the top right corner. We're going to go down to settings. And then we're going to go to connect settings and marketing profile. Dora, before you got on, and I wonder if you have this as a labs advisor, mine is totally different. I started by demoing my website and it was brand new.
Oh,
They moved it. So that's why I'm using Amanda's website or
Okay.
account. Okay. So I'm going to click on
I'm gonna go
marketing
look.
profile. And then here's your agent photo. And if you'd like that KW Luxury logo to show up on the top of the website as well, then you can put it in here and under the team logo.
oh yeah. That's going to be under settings next. Is that what you're seeing on the website? Yeah, I have that too. Sorry.
Yep. So I started doing that and then I'm like, oh, look, they released something new. And then I realized nobody else had it. Okay, so that's how we can do that. And also, like, if you have a team logo, let me go to this one, even though I don't like the actual logo that it is. I need to pick a better logo.
Tracy, is yours following suit? Okay. Yeah.
So this is what it looks like when you have your team logo. right? You can see right here in the corner. I highly recommend that you don't use anything that has a background on it like this if you're going to use the transparent header, because you make it look really nice with the transparent header, and then you make it look very elementary with a block background logo like that. You always want your logos to have transparent backgrounds. And then the other important thing too is making sure you have it in different colorways. So for anybody who's thinking about doing a logo, if you're just kind of getting your marketing and branding together, when you have a logo designed, you want to make sure that it lends itself well to having a light version of it and a dark version of it. So you might have, like ours, we have a black text version of it and a white text version of it. And that way, when it has a transparent background, it'll show up nice when you overlay it on top of your images. And that goes for not just for the website header like this, but even on open house flyers, just listed flyers, things like that. When you put your logo over an image, it just looks much more professional that way. Okay, so Martha, I wanted to take you. Where was I taking you? I was going to tell you I was going to do something, and I was going to come back here to catch up, right, where you were, because I think you were kind of here with me. Is this where you were? You can come off mute, and we can talk through it together.
Yes, that's where
Okay. So, and then I have to remember where I was trying to show you, but, was it featured listings?
yeah, you
Yeah,
know what,
pinned.
and I think I got it.
Okay. So we go to expert mode. And then once we're in expert mode, we go to custom homepage, default homepage, which is probably what it says unless you change it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we click on that, we're going to go to listing list featured properties. And then that's where all those settings are.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where you also said we can switch like the location. So when it does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the location is right here. For most people, it's going to be their office address.
Yeah.
And if you want to change it to and it doesn't even, I mean, my office could be like 5 minutes from my house like it used to be, right? But let's say I predominantly want to work a specific area. I could make that location center point, that neighborhood that I want to have my website focused on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's that. The other thing is, because I did leave out a step on creating that what's my home worth page, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So if I click on the KW logo, pro tip, if you guys don't know, any website that you're on, if they have a logo in the top left corner, that is almost always a home button that will take you back to the beginning of their website. Okay. So in this case, it actually returns us to the dashboard. And then I'm going to go down to my home valuation. I can see the reason I'm not seeing it is because it's still in draft. Okay. So I clearly forgot to publish something there. I know I hit publish, but maybe I was too.
I think it's saved, but I don't know if you hit publish.
I did, but I don't like,
Did
I
it
didn't
go
get
out
all
of it?
that. I didn't get all that. So I don't think it registered it. Okay. So now we should be published. So now if I go back to my home page or my dashboard, home valuation is published. Okay. So cool. Now when I go to Amanda's website and I hover over more, now we see I have home valuation. Okay. So now when I click on home valuation, I come to this page where now I can enter my home address. And this is like any other tool you guys have used. You're going to start typing in the address. So this would be the consumer, right? Typing in their address. So I can start typing in an address and then it's going to pop up for me. This is a commercial property. So the only reason I'm not using my actual address is because this will be on YouTube at some point, and YouTube will knock my channel and take the video down if I use personal information. So I need to use commercial addresses. So then I would say, let's go. And then this is what it looks like. You're going to give your first name, last name, email address. Phone number is not required, but at least it's there now. It didn't used to be there. And then by clicking this checkbox, you accept our terms and consent to your personal data being shared with the Keller Williams real estate agent or market center. I feel like that doesn't go far enough. I just read that like clearly for the first time. So what I'm thinking about TCPA, right? And how important that is. I feel like this is missing a line that says you also consent to be contacted by this real estate agent, right? Anyway, just a thought.
So
I
is
will
that
take
a
to the
box we
powers
can
that be.
edit?
No, it's not. It's built in. But yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that and get it in front of somebody and see what the answer is for that.
Let me take a picture.
You got it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
took a picture so we can ask the
Thank
tech
you.
group.
All right. So I'm gonna go like this. I think I need to use a different email address.
Are you using a different email address because you're
Because it's my
already
wife.
in there?
It's my wife's account, and I'm probably maybe I'm overthinking my importance, but I'm hoping that I'm in her database.
Okay, but even if you are already in there, what would it do?
It would. Well, let's look. I think it still allows it to go through.
It does.
I would think it should.
Yeah,
It does,
and if
'cause you can do a
and it
home-
would show
Mhm.
up in the timeline for that contact and say that so and so that Brett Bishop was interested in his home value at such and such an address. Okay. Now, if this was a residential property, it would have given me a price range. Okay, but it's a commercial property. I highly suggest that you guys add this and then get used to playing with it and seeing how it works. Here's the other cool thing. How can I drive traffic to this page? Just this page. Who knows?
QR code somewhere.
Yes, that's what I was looking for, Dolores. Absolutely. Anybody know how to make a free QR code no matter where you are on the internet? So in Chrome, and every browser has a version of it. The reason we're always going to be teaching on Chrome is because our Keller Williams technology, DocuSign included, even though that's not KW technology, it works best in Chrome. If you're using any other browser, so Mac users, if you're on Safari, I know you love Safari, you will be like knee deep into working on something in Command, and then all of a sudden like a save button won't work, or it's not showing you the right user interface or something. You won't know until it goes wrong. So that's not to say that the other browsers won't work, but when it does go wrong, it's normally when you need to save something and you can't. Okay, so we're gonna go to the three dots up here in the top right next to our icon, our what do we call that? Our profile photo in Chrome. And we're gonna go down to cast, save, and share. Okay, and then I'm gonna move over to that new drop down and we're gonna go to create QR code. And then that's gonna bring up that cool little dinosaur for me. Okay, so it brings up the QR code. You guys aren't seeing it, are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. If you share a tab in Zoom, I forgot I'm sharing the whole screen, which is good. If you share a tab in Zoom and you have a pop-up like that, the other people won't be able to see it. So I'm glad I did it the right way. Cool. So that's the QR code, and I can just download it now. And I can throw that into Canva. I can throw it into designs in Command if you like doing that sort of thing, if you like to torture yourself. I'm just kidding. I'm very happy that Canva is coming. Everybody know that Canva is going to be integrated with Command sooner than we thought. That's fantastic. I'm excited about that. But yeah, now we have that QR code and we can put it wherever. You want to be really cool? Put it on your phone. Save that to the photos on your phone. And then when you're out in public and somebody says, hey, what's my house worth? You go, here, scan this. Go find out. You can put it on your open house flyers, right? If you wanted to. Like they can actually, here, I'll back up.
So we have to
Oh,
be
so
in our website and then hit those three little dots in Chrome above to create that code for that page that
yeah,
we want
it's always going to create a QR code for the page that you're on.
that we're on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Norma, great question. It is static. It is not a dynamic QR code. You cannot change it for other properties and pages. It's going to be static to this one page. And here, I'll take us back to the QR code. So once I go to the page that I want, okay, I'm going to go to the three dots up here in the top right of the Chrome browser window. Okay. I'm going to click those. I'm going to come all the way down to cast, save, and share. And then down to the bottom of that next pop-up menu, and it's create QR code. And I'm going to click on that, and then that's the QR code that I want, and I'm just going to download that.
So you're gonna download it to this page.
I'm just going to download this to my computer, and then I can use this as an image that I put on flyers, or I save it to my phone, like I said, as a picture. And then when I'm out and about and I hear somebody asking, you know, I wonder what my house is worth when I'm in line at the grocery store, I can pull up that photo and go, here, scan this and find out. Right? A lot of these things are kind of cool to have saved on your phone. So like, I don't have it anymore because I've been using a different home screen. But like when I go to family reunion or I go to events like that, I actually have my contact information as a QR code on my lock screen. So, you know, on your phones, you can I actually have a video around it too. You know what? Let me go find the video and I'll put it in the chat for you.
Oh, so you can have it on your lock screen because I pulled it out right now like this.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep, I see it. I see
okay,
it.
so
Yep,
so
but
then
you can actually take a picture of that, right? And you can actually make it your lock screen on your phone.
oh, you're right. I can do that. Sounds
So
good.
let me go find that video.
I like that idea.
It's easier instead of going through the thing and coming in. Hold on one
Absolutely.
second. Let me do this. Oh,
And
yeah.
we put it on the lock screen so we don't even have to open the phone, right? It just pops up.
Right. Right.
All right. Somewhere in here. Videos. And this one. Okay. All right, so in the chat is the link to that YouTube video that shows you how to create the QR code and put it on your lock screen.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that'd be cool too.
Subscribe,
Doesn't
like,
cost
follow,
anything.
all the things.
My work is easy because I use Click.
Yeah.
Here's how I keep track
Oh my God. Stop.
of all my things.
Sorry.
That's okay. I don't like that word that YouTube uses, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It really should just say follow. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. So we saw how to go to our marketing profile and set up the branding that we need that's actually going to appear on our website, also on the app. Then we went to the basic editor for our website under the website's applet or icon. And we kind of went through the new features there, like we have here for our homepage, which is banner, featured properties, testimonials. The testimonials here is just to set up the description and the headline. It does not allow you the ability to add testimonials yet. So adding the testimonials has to be done in the expert mode. Featured properties, we can set up some basic functionality here, but we can't get into like pinning our own listings and things like that. This only allows us to set up the search area. And then from that, we also had blog articles. And again, this is setting up the title and the description for what it says over here under my blog. So we ideally, if you like the community pages, that's where we'd put community pages or communities of the suburbs of Chicago or whatever we want to call that, right? Jasmine, I do see your question. I'll show you in just a second. And then you can create blog posts in this basic editor, but it's limited as to what you can add to that blog post compared to the expert mode. Expert mode allows you to add images and videos and all kinds of stuff. There's more functionality over there, but if you just wanted a basic post with an image that you wanted to get out right away, you could do it right here. Okay. And that's all of it. So yeah.
Brett, show her where the social media links are. So a couple of things, you guys, I think at minimum, definitely make sure your social media links are there, your marketing profile set the way you want it to be, because it's going to have the logo you want, the photos you want, and do your featured listings. And I would change the hero text on that front page and the pictures behind it like Brett went over. Brett, what other minimum would you say? Oh, I also like the home value page though.
The home value page for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can build Facebook ads and strategies around that for lead generation. It's a great listing lead generation tool. So yeah, my first thing would be to add that page, I think, so I don't forget. And then, well, I guess first thing is the marketing profile, like Dora said. Make sure all that stuff's accurate. Customize photos and video if you want.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way the video shows. I forgot to show you the transparent header, so I'll show us that real quick. And then, yeah, the home valuation page. That's a must. It's huge that we have that. We've been begging for that for years with all of our other website providers and never had it. I think with Market Leader, we got it right at the end. So it's nice that we have that. Okay, so let me, where am I at?
Transparent header.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure. So Jasmine, it does look like you got it, right? You were able to follow along with me as I was navigating. You're good. Awesome. If not, just let me know. But that's where it is right here. It's under the marketing profile again. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and then it's these right here.
And make sure you hit save.
Yes, make sure you hit save under that. Hit save. Okay, so we're going to go back to websites. And we're going to go to edit agent site, and we're going to go to expert mode. All right. And then we're going to go back to our custom homepage. Okay. Because this is a homepage feature. So we're going to our homepage, and we're going to go to styles, and we're going to check this slider for transparent header. Right there. Right. So when we click on custom homepage in our list, I'll take us back out to the front. So when I click on expert mode, it brings us here. I'm going to scroll down to custom homepage, default homepage. When I click on that, it's going to bring me to the editor for the custom homepage. I'm going to click on styles and then hit the slider for the transparent header. I think it just gives it a much more like professional high-end look. Sometimes just depending on the design of the site, the white header kind of needs to be there, or the dark header, depending on which theme you chose. It all just depends on how you have things set up. But I think in most cases, especially when you're using a video, the transparent header is key. All right. That's it. I want to thank everybody for being here. Everybody that could turn your cameras on too, thank you so much. It makes it so much nicer for us to train to. And your participation, thank you so much. Lots of great questions, and thanks for investing in yourselves and your business too. Appreciate your time. Any last minute questions?
No, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Dora, thank you.
You're welcome.
See ya.